Good evening, Raider Nation, and welcome to your one-stop shop for all things Las Vegas Raiders. Buckle up, because tonight we're diving headfirst into a whirlwind of dysfunction, drama, and, dare I say it, disappointment in the silver and black. The question on everyone's mind: can the Raiders find their way out of this mess, or are we watching the same old rerun of a franchise stuck in neutral? Let's break it all down, from the latest reports out of Allegiant Stadium to what this means for the future of this storied team. This is your NFL News Fix, and trust me, you won't want to miss a second of it. Let's start with the headline that's got Raider Nation buzzing louder than a sold-out crowd on Sunday night. According to the latest reports, the Las Vegas Raiders are caught in a storm of chaos that could rival a Hollywood blockbuster. Sources inside the organization paint a picture of a team unraveling at the seams. Think less Super Bowl contender and more group project gone wrong. We're talking anonymous leaks, finger-pointing, and a head coach in Pete Carroll who, at 74 years young, seems to be dodging blame faster than a quarterback evading Max Crosby. If there was an award for creative crisis management, the Raiders might finally have something to hang in the trophy case. Because, folks, they're not winning many games right now. The report suggests a franchise in disarray. Tight end Brock Bowers allegedly playing through an injury against the advice of trainers, offensive lineman Caleb Rogers getting roasted for lackluster practice performances, and offensive coordinator Chip Kelly apparently forgetting what a playbook looks like. And through it all, Coach Carroll strolls through the chaos like a tourist lost on the Las Vegas Strip, hands clean and whistle gleaming. But Raider Nation isn't buying the act. The truth: this team looks unprepared week after week. In-game adjustments are as rare as a functional offensive line, and Carroll's hand-picked roster, looking at you, Geno Smith and Stone Turnstile Forsythe, has been a masterclass in how not to build a contender. Now, let's dive deeper into the mess. For those new to the game, the Raiders' struggles aren't just about dropped passes or missed tackles. This is about a team that can't seem to get out of its own way. Let's talk about Brock Bowers, the dynamic tight end who was supposed to be the next big thing for Las Vegas. At just 23, Bowers has the potential to be a game-changer, with hands like glue and the speed to outrun linebackers. But playing through an injury? That's a risky move for a young star, and it raises questions about the team's medical staff and decision-making. If Bowers is out for an extended period, the Raiders' passing game, already leaner than a Vegas buffet at closing time, could take a serious hit. Then there's Caleb Rogers, the offensive lineman who's reportedly been struggling in practice. For those unfamiliar, the offensive line is the backbone of any NFL team, protecting the quarterback, that's the guy throwing the ball, and opening lanes for running backs. When your O-line is getting called out for poor performance, it's like trying to drive a car with 3 flat tires. Rogers, a former Texas Tech standout, was expected to anchor this unit, but if the reports are true, he's been more of a speed bump than a roadblock for opposing defenses. And don't get me started on Chip Kelly. Once hailed as an offensive genius during his days at Oregon, Kelly's tenure as the Raiders' offensive coordinator has been, let's call it, underwhelming. The playbook seems to be stuck in 2015, and the team's inability to adjust during games has left fans screaming at their TVs. For context, a touchdown is worth 6 points, plus an extra point for a kick, and the Raiders are averaging just 17 points per game this season, among the lowest in the NFL. Compare that to their AFC West rivals, the Kansas City Chiefs, who are lighting up scoreboards with 30-plus points a game, and you see the problem. To understand how we got here, let's take a quick trip down memory lane. The Raiders are no strangers to drama. Born in Oakland in 1960, this franchise has a legacy as gritty and rebellious as its iconic silver and black logo. From the days of Al Davis's "Just Win, Baby" mantra to Super Bowl victories in 1976, 1980, and 1983, the Raiders were once the NFL's bad boys, led by legends like Marcus Allen, Howie Long, and Tim Brown. But the move to Las Vegas in 2020, while bringing a shiny new home in Allegiant Stadium, hasn't translated to on-field success. The team hasn't won a playoff game since 2002, and their last Super Bowl appearance was a distant memory that same year. This season, the Raiders were hoping to turn the tide under Pete Carroll, a coaching veteran who led the Seattle Seahawks to a Super Bowl title in 2013. At 74, Carroll is one of the oldest coaches in the NFL, and his hiring was a gamble by owner Mark Davis to bring stability and a winning culture. But stability? Not so much. The team's 3-8 record through 11 weeks is a far cry from their 10-7 campaign in 2021, their last winning season. Statistically, the Raiders rank 28th in total offense and 25th in defense, a stark contrast to their 1983 championship squad, which boasted a top-5 defense and a bruising ground game led by Marcus Allen. The AFC West doesn't make things any easier. The Chiefs, with Patrick Mahomes slinging passes like a Vegas magician, are perennial Super Bowl favorites. The Los Angeles Chargers, powered by Justin Herbert's rocket arm, are nipping at their heels. Even the Denver Broncos, often the division's punching bag, have shown signs of life under Sean Payton. For the Raiders to climb out of the basement, they'll need to solve their internal issues, and fast. Let's bring in some voices from the ground. Imagine we caught up with Max Crosby, the Raiders' heart and soul defensive end, after practice. "Look man, we're fighting every day," Crosby might say, his trademark intensity practically jumping through the mic. "This is Raider Nation. We don't quit. But we gotta clean up the mistakes, get on the same page, and play for each other, not just talk about it." Crosby, a 3-time Pro Bowler, has been a bright spot, leading the team with 7.5 sacks this season. But even a pass-rushing machine like Crosby can't do it alone. On the flip side, picture a frustrated fan outside Allegiant Stadium. "I've been a Raider since the Oakland days," says Johnny from Henderson, decked out in a classic Bo Jackson jersey. "This blame game, it's exhausting. Pete's gotta take some heat, or Mark Davis needs to make a change. We deserve better." Johnny's not wrong. Raider Nation is one of the most passionate fan bases in sports, and they've stuck with the team through thick and thin, from the Oakland Coliseum's black hole to the glitz of Vegas. Even fictional analysts are weighing in. "The Raiders are at a crossroads," says ESPN's hypothetical pundit Sarah Jenkins. "Carroll's track record is undeniable, but his roster decisions, Geno Smith over a younger QB, for instance, feel like a coach stuck in the past. If they don't turn this around, Mark Davis might hit the reset button again." So, what's next for the Silver and Black? The immediate future looks grim. With 6 games left in the 2025 season, the Raiders face a brutal stretch, including a rematch with the Chiefs, who embarrassed them 34-13 earlier this year. A loss there could drop their record to 3-9, all but eliminating their playoff hopes. Looking ahead to the offseason, whispers of a franchise implosion are growing louder. Could Carroll be on the hot seat? His contract runs through 2026, but Mark Davis has never been shy about making bold moves. Just ask John Gruden, whose second stint with the Raiders ended abruptly in 2021. The draft offers some hope. With a likely top 10 pick, the Raiders could target a franchise quarterback or bolster their offensive line. Names like Shedeur Sanders from Colorado or Garrett Nussmeier from LSU are already floating around mock drafts. But drafting well is only half the battle. Developing talent and building a cohesive culture are where the Raiders have stumbled in recent years. Long-term, the Raiders need to rediscover their identity. Are they the smash-mouth, defensive juggernauts of the 1970s?